Marhaba, Khalil from Neerja, or Jim Sarbh. You're watching Bollywood Hungama.
Jim has what I hold in high esteem for an actor, and that is interiority, where you wonder what is going on in the inner workings of the actor's mind in such a way that it's mesmeric, and as an audience you find it seductive and surprising yet real. The greatest actors have this quality, and Jim is blessed that he does too. Well, that's what Ram Madhwani, the director of Neerja, has said about Jim Sarbh. If you're not able to recognize the guy, he's the dreaded terrorist called Khalil from Neerja, who just made the life hell for Neerja. That is Sonam Kapoor. Jim, huge pleasure to have you on Bollywood Hungama first.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
And we'll come to the enormous impact that you've left. But what do you have to say about this I think very nice analysis of Ram Madhwani about interiority, that inner workings of the actor's mind? How have you managed to just do that? This is your first film, I believe.
Yeah.
You've done theatre before.
I've done theatre before. I have acted in another film as well, but it hasn't had a release. You know, it premiered at the Rotterdam Film Festival.
What's the name?
It's called Ajeeb Aashiq.
Ajeeb Aashiq.
Yeah, but it's different. It was an improvised piece. There was no preparation. It was just come be this girl's boyfriend, you know.
Right.
Based on your first meeting with her, try to imagine how the whole relationship will pan out. So we met, I kind of, you know, saw what I had to see. Then she would say things like, now start a fight. You know, for example, we've just met, you know, but like if I have to now pick a fight with you, how would I do it, you know? Like what kinds of things would I say based on already our first meeting? It's like...
you should not symbolize Khalil. Actually, that you should not pick up fights just like that.
No, of course not. But like in a relationship, one does have fights, you know?
Right.
So it was like that. And what was interesting is the amount of true things you can find out about a person already from first sit down, you know? Like already now, like if I had to pick a fight with you, I already have some things that I could start to say that I know will get under your skin.
Right.
I know it already, just from sitting opposite you. Same as you already know some things about me that will probably get under my skin.
No, I don't actually.
Well, I mean, if we took a few seconds, you'd probably be able to find them. I'm not going to attack you.
Please. I've seen Neerja twice actually, and you can be quite scary. You don't look scary right now. Okay, but coming to what Ram Madhwani has said about the entire, somewhere he's saying that the entire internalizing aspect, because many people have felt. I'll come to a few remarks later, but you've become the character somewhere. You actually look like that dreaded terrorist, and you're speaking the Arabic language the way you're speaking it. It doesn't look from anywhere that you're not a terrorist.
I'm very happy with what he's had to say, especially because I respect him so much. I don't know, I started to figure at some point that unpredictability is like the key for this character, you know. So then it became about mostly hiding what is going on inside of his head. Just letting it go, and then choosing certain moments to let it come out in so much force that suddenly you're taken aback, you know. But apart from that, more or less just like efficiency of gesture, efficiency of action, because he's the same way. He doesn't want to expend too much energy because he needs to preserve it, because he knows this mission is going to take a long time,
right?
You know, things like that. So I just applied certain rules, and mostly like rules of animal fighting more than anything else.
Looks like it.
To like the character.
Looks like it. Did you go through any auditions? Were you
yeah, I auditioned.
To a casting director?
Kanika Berry called me in. She's the casting director.
Okay.
And she'd seen me in, I think, maybe a play, but she'd called me in for an ad audition a while ago, like maybe 2 years. Never heard back for the ad. Thought she'd forgotten who I was. And then she called me in for the audition. I gave the audition. And I got called in the next day to meet with the associate director, Vinod Rawat, who is going to be handling the actor workshops. I met with him. He sat there with one plate full of meat, and he said, now, you know, tell me, improvise the scene. What's happening? Say you're the leader, I'm your subordinate. You've come over here, you're telling me the plan of how to hijack the plane. I'm sitting in one dhaba, I'm eating. So I was like, okay. Kaisa hai bhaijan? You know, and he was like, मैं तो ठीक हूँ, you know. And I think he was expecting me to come and be like, okay, you know, terrorist, and okay, this is going to be the plan, or you know, whatever. And I just was talking to him normally, so he got happy that this guy is just talking to me normally. So he took the track of, yeah, we're friends discussing a plan. And for me it was like, yeah, that's what we are friends discussing a plan. There is no such thing as terrorist. Terrorist is just one man who has a plan and carries out the plan. Who needs to be angry until you get on the plane in front of everybody? No reason.
Apparently, you had some apprehensions in the beginning that you felt that maybe you don't want to add to the already existing Islamophobia.
Yes, I did have that apprehension because it is a problem just now. It's the world's scapegoat right now. You know, all of the problems get put on their shoulders when I don't think that's fair at all. I think it's a very small part of the population who aren't even, as far as it's concerned, upholding the values that should be upheld.
Correct.
You know, by the larger community, and instead they are being that tiny portion of people are being magnified to extend to the whole group, which I think is nonsense. I think it's ignorant and stupid, and I think it shouldn't be that way. So I didn't want to be another one of these people at a time like that. And I expressed my concerns to Vinod, and Ram must have heard about them as well. I don't know what the process was, but I think from that moment onwards, people started being very careful with making sure that we weren't like, you know, screaming religious fanatics, which I thought would be horrible. You know, we're just people with a plan who've entered the plane and like want to free some of our brothers. They didn't really go into the backstory of the terrorists, I think, because there wasn't enough time. But we went into it separately. You know, we knew why we were there. We knew what had happened to us. We knew, like, for example, the types of people that the Abu Nidal organization would usually take on. So often kids in Palestinian refugee camps whose families have been like torn apart by the war, who've seen their families murdered in front of their eyes, who just want something to connect to. And of course, these people are ripe for revenge, you know, for different people taking them in, and then things like that. So yeah, I didn't want to add to that at all. I was that was my biggest worry with the film.
Right.
And I'm glad that it's not being taken like that. Actually, no response to that is like, yeah, these terrorists are all like that. Nobody's saying that, which means that Ram has managed to handle the subject sensitively, which has made me feel really good, actually.
No, in fact, there is this dialogue that Sonam has that जिस तरह से आप अपना फर्ज निभा रहे हैं, तो मैं भी अपना फर्ज निभा. So in fact, it was like a job for them as well, and it's like a job for these guys as well. You know, as I was telling you just before the interview, I was moderating a session at Jashn-e-Rekhta. It's an Urdu festival in Delhi. It was, I think, on early February actually, and Javed Akhtar Saab was one of the panel members on that. Before the session started, Javed Saab was there, Imtiaz Ali was another panelist, Tingmanshu Dhulia and Javed Siddiqui Saab. So Javed Saab was excitedly talking about Neerja. He had already seen it. The movie had not released then. So he had already seen it and he was like praising it like anything. That मैंने बहुत अच्छी पिक्चर है और उसमें वो एक टेररिस्ट है साहब. क्या टेररिस्ट है? वो कहीं से ऐसा है कि टेररिस्ट लगता ही नहीं हो. पूरे तरीके से टेररिस्ट लगता है. हम लोग जब इंटरवल में हम जब गए तो हम लोग को ये था कि यार वो तो वहीं पर है. परेशान कर रहा होगा. Now, someone of that stature who's not easy to please actually, Javed Saab is extremely critical guy. He doesn't praise just like that the way many people in the industry they do. I'm sure that almost everyone has appreciated your performance. I'm just talking about someone that I've personally interacted with. How does it feel? That
feels good. What was there to say? It feels great.
Right.
Yeah. I'm glad that the hard work paid off. We worked hard on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think something like this is achievable without the work that we did. Like, we did workshops, serious workshops. We did Arabic training for a while so that I knew my lines for the whole film before the film started. It wasn't like, read your lines, go do the take. It wasn't like that at all. I knew everything that I had to say. I knew the whole plan. Then I could improvise freely because I knew the plan. I think the biggest misconception is that to get real acting, don't let them rehearse. Let them just improvise from the beginning. It'll be real acting. No, you end up going with your first impulse so many of the times. If you've rehearsed it properly, if you know exactly what you have to do, if you know the whole plan, then I'm free to incorporate whatever accidents happen along the way because I'm so sure of what the plan is. If I was unsure about the plan because I've not learned my lines, because I'm not sure what's going on next, etc.,
right.
Then if something new happens, I'll shut it out in order to keep going along the plan. So this is all, so it was great. So it was the work that we did that paid off, and I'm glad.
Okay, and would you like to just maybe say a few lines in Arabic for us, if possible, from the movie? Anything that you remember?
Sure. Kana cockpit fi khariyeta fi dil jiha. La tirmi alai. That's like the cockpit in the plan was in the front of the plane. Don't fucking blame me, you know. Except I don't think there's a fucking, but it's like that. La tirmi alai. And then it's like kef nusa Libya, huh? How will we get to Libya, right? If the pilots don't come, how are we ever going to get there?
Right.
Nuktulda, Javed Lena Junan. Kill this guy is like annoying me. That's what I'm saying about Neerja. It's like we should have killed her. She's annoying me.
Right. That's. And you never knew Arabic before.
No.
You've learned especially for this.
Yeah.
How much time did it take for learning it? Because the nuances which are there, it's not easy to learn. The pronunciation and the nuances, the effortlessness, it takes time.
So we got all the. So we met with the Arabic coach. We went through the whole script with him. Then he recorded the dialogue for us. So he would record all of my dialogues. Then I would just listen to it over and over again and try to repeat it. Then do it in front of him. Then we had a test, where people came to hear how well we did in the whole. If we knew the whole flow of everything.
Correct.
And then after that test was over, we would just keep kind of rehearsing with each other, like do the scene. So we'd rehearse it with each other a few times, and more or less I would also rehearse it separately because I wanted to do it well.
And apparently you were not interacting with Sonam Kapoor before or even on the sets.
Not at all.
Somewhere to just create that uncomfortable element and a surprise element, so that there's no camaraderie between you guys. You should not show. Very realistic. I think the approach that Ram Advani has had, it's something which is very realistic somewhere as well.
Right. Yeah.
Did you feel that helped in terms of creating that
absolutely
unfamiliarity and that element of tension? And you must have looked menacing then, I'm sure.
Totally.
With the beard and everything.
Yeah, like we're sitting just now. You're chatting with me like this. You know what kind of guy I actually am, right? Like this relatively normal, And now if I have to go outside and burst back in and say, hands up, blah 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 blah, right? I mean, if you're a like extremely skilled actor, then you will respond exactly the way that you're supposed to respond.
Right.
But if you're dealing with 200 passengers who all have to do the right kind of reactions, you're dealing with all of these flight attendants, who might not be able to react the way that is absolutely required the second, then it's so much easier if we've never had this conversation and some strange guy bursts into the room. You've never met him before, you've never talked to him, you don't know what he's like and what he's not like. All you see is this strange guy bursting into the room. You'll obviously have a easier time responding.
No, absolutely. Now, apparently there was an article on you, and the headline was that here's why Parsis should procreate more.
That wasn't actually an article. That's just a joke one guy was making on Twitter.
Okay.
I just thought it was funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
And apparently you retweeted that.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Yeah.
So here's why Parsis should procreate more. So Jim Sarbh is a Parsi, less than a lakh of as far as Parsis are concerned, and they are brilliant, most of them. Now, does that help?
They also start drooling on themselves by 40 because we're so inbred.
They do?
That's a joke.
Actually, I have a certain affinity with Parsis because my name is Faridoon.
Yeah.
Which is like an Irani name.
When you called me, I thought that was, yeah.
In Mumbai, they feel that I'm a Parsi.
Yeah.
And they tend to develop, the Parsis, they tend to develop, because there are so few of them, that they get excited that they found a new one.
Yeah.
they don't know.
Faridoon. And then we're damn disappointed when we find out, oh, he's an imposter. Yeah. I was going to marry my sister to you. Yeah. Now.
Okay, so what sort of background?
So no Parsi in you at all?
No Parsi in me at all, except for the Irani name, the Persian name.
So where did you get the Persian name from?
My father's friend, he saw, in fact, Hafiz ka Diwan say he just got the name.
Okay.
So
just like that.
Mumbai still people have Faridoon as a name, but in down north actually.
Faridoon Bommanji.
More like that. Name. In Mumbai there's still.
Yeah.
But north I've never heard any name as far as Faridoon is concerned. So that helps as well. Right? It becomes like very different sort of.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us something about your family background. You've studied in US. You've stayed in Sydney for some time.
Yeah.
Have you taken any training in acting?
Not really. Like I did theatre courses when I was in high school because I loved it. I did like speech and drama class when I was 8 till I was 14 or something.
Right.
You know that Nosharwan Jangir speech and drama class in South Bombay?
I've heard about it.
The Trinity school exams, and you do like elocution classes is what it's called in general.
Right.
So I would do that always because I just liked it, because it came easy to me. I understood the words quickly, and then it became fun to see how to play with them, and all of that stuff. And then in college, I did, like, for example, I graduated with a degree in psychology. But at the graduation parties, at the end of the, there's a graduation party. So you go to your department, you have a little wine and cheese with everybody, and you say your goodbyes and you meet your teachers and all of that stuff. I wasn't at the psychology one. I was at the theatre department one. Because all of the people that I ended up talking to, the professors that I would sit in this, Timothy McDonough and Lisa Paulson's office for like 5 hours in the afternoon, just discussing King Lear, because I had just read it. And I had no one to talk to about it because I wasn't studying theatre, But I'd met them because I'd acted in a play that they had directed. And then after that, I would take one of their courses, for example. But just a 6-month course, like a semester course. One of the like 6 courses that I was taking that semester. So I would be studying primate social psychology, brain and behavior, speeches and monologues, theatre 1 course. Then I would do one comparative literature course. Then I would have to do some other, physical education requirement. So I would be doing these 6 courses, and one of which would be acting, for example. But they had a great program at Emory where you got to act in college shows, but with professional actors from Atlanta.
Okay.
So I got to meet all of the professional actors in Atlanta because they would come in, because Theatre Emory would pay them well. So they'd come in order to do these like shows where it would be half students, half professionals.
Right.
So then I got to meet them. Then student productions would start to happen. So I was acting throughout college.
You've also been part of Kalki's, in fact, play, The Living Room.
Yeah.
So how was that experience of being part of something? She's a very interesting woman herself.
I agree.
Okay. Are you having a crush or something?
Of course. No. It's great. It's cool. She wrote it herself. She's directing it. What's there to say, really? It's nice. It's a good play. It's fun part.
But I'm sure that theatre is like a huge learning experience. It's the way you can improvise on stage is something that in terms of just honing up your craft, it must be like a...
I think so, yeah. But now The Living Room must have been the 14th play I did in Bombay. And then we did that Rajat Kapoor's clown show, What Is Done after that. And I don't know, each new play has different skill sets that you have to keep either building on or learning completely new ones. With The Living Room, it actually comes, the thing that I have to do is pretty easy actually. It's like, he's this big guy, big, dumb, young, like, guy that like walks in, that is full of energy, and he's the representation in a way of life in the play. It's like life bursts into the house because death has been there on stage with an old woman, and he's going to take this old woman.
Right.
And suddenly in the middle of this all is like life bursts in, and he's just like, look, Mrs. Nil, I just need to calm myself down, I just went to a yoga retreat and they taught me all about pranic healing, so I'm just gonna, and he's just like, he's fun, he's easy. He's this big burst of energy, so it's nice.
Great. You've also been part of Konkona's debut film Death in a Gunj.
Yeah, Death in the Gunj.
Death in the Gunj. So if you can tell us something about that, it's an ensemble film, I believe.
Yeah, ensemble film. So I liked the script a lot when I read it. So I wanted to be a part of the project in general. And then when I heard about the rest of the cast, I was like, I definitely want to be a part of this film, no matter what my role is. So I didn't choose the film for my role. I chose the film to be a part of something that I thought was a good overall project. Like in Neerja, same situation. I thought the overall project was good, so I would have accepted like any role, as the hijacker, just to be a part of this film. I'm lucky that I got Khalil's role I find that to be probably the most exciting male role in the film. You know, to me, it was like that. In this one, I'm not the most exciting male role in the film. I'm the absolute flunky in the film. I'm just like one guy who's like friends, and he looks up to another guy. And so, for example, if you're sitting like this, and you know, I'm your thing, after a while, very unconsciously, I'll end up being in this position as well, just because I'll start imitating the most powerful person in the room, the person that I look up to the most, you know, for example. So he's more like that kind of guy in this film. He's the lowest rung of the ladder. He doesn't mind. He's sweet. He's there. Everyone bullies him. You know, he says what he has to say, and people laugh at him, and he doesn't mind, and he feels happy.
So, what sort of roles have been offered to you since the time Neerja is released?
Well, there's one role coming up that I'm gonna shoot at the end of this month, of like he's like this socially awkward guy who doesn't know how to be around people, but mostly women, and he goes to a whorehouse in order to sleep with a prostitute, and he always does it because he goes every weekend, you know, but he doesn't know how to talk to people, and he ends up getting bullied by the prostitute, and he's more like this kind of guy, like what I'm doing right now.
I can gather that.
Yeah.
So it's like a whose movie is it?
Daria Guy is directing it.
It's like a feature film or what?
It's going to be a feature film, yeah. So there are 3 long takes that the film is basically made up, 3.5 really long takes. So, for example, this one will be about 42 minutes, single take, full story. And I'm the central portion of the story. So there's a story when there's a version that comes before that will also be 32 minutes, and that's about a young boy and his grandfather. Then the middle one is this boy and this prostitute, you know, which will be me. And then the older last long take will be an old man discovering something new about his wife that he never knew for all of these years, and rediscovering the love between them, you know, or not rediscovering, more like deepening or re-articulating the love between them. It's a beautiful script.
Great.
It's one of the most beautiful scripts I've read in a while.
Any other films that have been offered to you and you've been considering? You can't talk about it?
Secrets.
Okay. Would you like, because you know, in many cases in Bollywood we have these entire stereotyping that takes place कि अभी ये terrorist किया है, or like negative character
it's not going to happen
किया है that way. So whatever. But
I'm not worried.
Okay, but would you want to do like good characters?
I want to do all kinds of characters.
And maybe in an Akshay Kumar film, or like an Aamir Khan, or like a Aamir you met. He's really been appreciative of your performance.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a Salman Khan or like a Shah Rukh Khan. Would you
Fine by me.
Would I do it?
No worries.
What did Aamir say to you?
He actually didn't say very much to me. The picture that you are quoting is from before. It's from when we were shooting. He just came to set. Hi, how are you? This is what I'm working on. Oh, you guys are the hijackers. Nice to meet you. Picture. That was all. That's the picture that you've taken. Maybe he said nice things since then. I don't know. I haven't heard about them.
Okay, you haven't. Okay.
Yeah.
Jim, we are having a bit of a rapid fire with you.
Oh, good.
So just end it up. Considering you are so prompt in coming up with smart one-liners.
Am I? Who said? Are you talking about my Twitter thing?
No, I'm talking about since the time we've been conversing. So just judging on that.
Okay.
True or false? True or false? After watching me in Neerja, nobody would be ready to marry me.
False.
The girls will find it sexy or something like that?
Oh my God, are you crazy? Have you not seen the response I'm getting?
I'm just asking.
Like cute terrorist is like the thing. There are like memes going on of like, hi Jim, I'm free, hijack me.
I like that.
I swear to you, I'm like, you guys have a problem. You guys have serious mental problems. If you watch Khalil and think like, oh yeah, it's like you have a problem.
No, but marrying and having a fantasy.
Yeah, all marry me, knock knock, who's there? Marry who? And I already know where it's going, but the person is like, marry me. I'm getting things like that on, people are being like, I'm Parsi too. It's like, yeah, relax, yeah.
the best compliment that you've received for Neerja?
The Ram Madhwani one that you read out.
Okay.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You had read it before as well?
Yeah. How did you read it?
I read it like while researching for it.
On Verve, na? I only gave that interview.
No, but you spoke about that. This is what Ram Madhwani told you.
Yeah.
Acha, okay. Most unfair criticism that has come your way thanks to Neerja. Any unfair criticism has come your way?
So far, unfair? No. No.
Any criticism has come?
Not really. People say they want to kill me and punch me in the face and stuff, but I take that as a good sign.
You take that as a good sign. An actor who inspired you the most in Bollywood?
Probably Nawaz or Irrfan or Radhika Apte.
Acha, that's a very interesting choice.
Yeah. Also, Kalki recently in Margarita was like superb.
She was very good.
Yeah.
She is excellent. A filmmaker you're dying to work with?
So many, yeah. Shall I name them all?
Whatever comes to your mind of.
Anurag Kashyap, Vikramaditya Motwane, Sujoy Ghosh, Patrick Graham, Daria Guy, Ina Ritu, David Fincher.
Okay.
Yeah. All of these
That's an interesting.
Yeah. Rajkumar Hirani, Habib Faisal, anyone. I just want to act.
Okay. A film of recent times you wish you had done?
I wish I had like played the part.
Any part, yeah.
The main guy in Titli. Yeah, I thought I would have done something slightly different than what he did. I know he's getting rave reviews and all, and of course the performance is very good, but I would have done it differently. And then, yeah, I think that's the last film that I watched where I was like, wow. Also, everything Joaquin Phoenix does, I'm like, I wish I got a chance to do it as well. Joaquin Phoenix is doing some amazing stuff right now. Anyway.
Your most favorite villain of Bollywood?
Most favorite villain of Bollywood? I don't know. The easy choice is to say Gabbar, especially because people are making all of the like parallels just now. But recently, he wasn't exactly a villain. But you know in Ugly, the casting guy, the guy who's the like casting director,
Correct.
I thought he did such a good job because it was on that edge of like not knowing if you're his friend or not his friend, or if you want to side with him or not side with him, and he's this smooth talking sleazy guy. I thought it was really good.
Okay. Most desirable actress of Bollywood at present according to you?
Desirable?
Yeah.
What does desirable mean?
Sexy. Yeah.
Sexy, appealing.
Yeah. None?
Appealing, sexy, they're all pretty sexy, yeah. If you want to go with like brains and like beauty, then just now it's like Radhika Apte and Kalki.
Radhika Apte and Kalki.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have to react in one word or sentence for the following, Sonam Kapoor.
Great, so kind.
Okay. Ram Madhwani.
Eye for detail, sensitive. Yeah.
Shabana Azmi.
She was so nice as well. Like a big mountain of power. She's powerful.
Okay.
I feel like a little boy around her. I feel like if she says nice things to me, I like start jumping and I like run away. That's how I feel around her. She makes me uncomfy because she's so.
Yes, she is. She doesn't do selfies. Picture ke sakte ho, selfies nahi. Award ceremonies. You may be nominated next year.
Good.
That's why we are not bitching about it.
I'm not saying anything.
Stereotypes in Bollywood. Stereotypes in Bollywood.
Lame. Cut it out. What's the point?
Yeah.
Come on. Let's grow up.
Fantastic. So, Jim Sarbh, lovely having you on Bollywood Hungama. Lovely to talk to you, and wonderful performance once again as far as Khalil and Neerja is concerned. As you rightly said, many people are calling you Gabbar as well. They're drawing parallels from that, and they're hating you, which I'm sure that you must be taking a compliment as well. So all the best wishes for all your future ventures, whatever you're doing in next, as far as be it movies or theatre. I think you're quite interested in doing Hollywood stuff as well.
All of it.
The choices, and even you look a bit like you can easily, I think, thanks to the Parsi genes,
Right.
you can just settle down into the accent that you're having a ready accent.
Right. Sadly, yeah.
Sadly, it may prove
Yeah.
happy as well.
Maybe. Let's see
Yeah.
how it goes.
So
Just now it's been my negative up until now because people don't feel like casting me in Hindi roles, you know. But I feel like if I could do an Arabic accent, then I can do any other accent that comes my way.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. So all the best wishes, and thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.